Hey guys, a little coffee bean here. Well, you all know that Crazy Dave is really good at dry aging. Well, he has gone crazy again. Personally, I think that he can't do this, but he thinks that he can dry age baby back ribs.
Hey, LCB, what are you doing? Are you filming?
No?
Wait a minute. What?
No?
What are you doing?
LCB, and I'm out here.
And
No.
where do you think you're going?
Bye!
Hey guys, Crazy Dave here. Well, a little coffee bean let the cat out of the bag. Well, Crazy Dave and a really good friend of mine, a chef actually, called Chef Maylon Jones back in Alabama. Famous barbecue chef, really super amazing ribs, okay? Well, him and I have been chatting back and forth because he's got one of these too, okay? And he can't do much right now in the kitchen, unfortunately. So his mind is kind of bored, but I made him think about something. So I presented him an idea. I said, hey man, you know I'm good at dry aging and you're really good at barbecuing ribs. Well, let's bring our two worlds together. Let's bring the West here in California and the South, Alabama, together and let's make something crazy. That's right, crazy. I have an idea that I want to take some baby back ribs and I want to dry age them. But not just regular dry aging. I'm going to soak these babies or wrap them up in some cheesecloth soaked in whiskey. Now, not just regular whiskey. This is Jack Daniel's Winter Blend. Now, this is Jack Daniel's along with some apple cider. And everybody knows that apple or apple cider vinegar or apple juice or apple wood with some baby backs is amazing. Well, stay with me. I'm going to try to age these things for about 14 days, one set. But then I'm going to push it a little bit step further and I'm going to go 21 days for the second set. So I've got a total of 4 baby back ribs that I'm going to try it and see what happens. Stay tuned. You're watching Crazy Dave's Kitchen. Okay guys, so what I do, I just poured a whole bottle of the Jack Daniel's Winter Jack into a container here. Now, what is this? This is some cheesecloth that I have soaking in the whiskey. I cut into 4 strips that we're going to use and wrap this baby up around the baby back. So right now we're just making sure that this stuff is really, really super soaked. So next we put some gloves on. I pulled up my little sharp knife here and I took out 1 rack of the baby back ribs. Well, one of the first things I like to do real quick is try to cut this label right here. Why is that? Well, what I do is in my dry ager is I take these labels, clean them up, wash them down, and I attach them to a little card and I hang it and I write the date on it so I know exactly what the beginning weight was, what the ending weight is, and all that stuff. Well, this baby's in a cryo pack, so we're just gonna kind of start peeling this away and let all these juices run out into the sink. Make sure it doesn't hit the sink because we don't want to contaminate this. And we're just going to pull it out. Now, we are not rinsing this off. We're just going to take this over to the tray right now and lay it down. There you go. Next, we're going to go ahead and peel off what they call the silver skin. We're just going to get that off of here. Just kind of peel it off and finish it up really good and try to get off as much of it as you can. And if you're having a problem, just remember, take a small knife and slightly cut into it and we're going to lift it up. And again, just lift it up just a little bit and you're going to peel it away. And again, this one's giving me a hard time. Just kind of lift it up and peel it away. There you go, like that. And then you just grab it and try to peel it away. Sometimes, when you're not wearing gloves, it's easier. I'm just wearing gloves for sanitation purposes. So remember, we want to keep these ribs as clean as possible and free of any contaminants because they are going into the dry aging machine. So next we took some paper towels here and we just kind of buff it off real quick a little bit. Because now what we're going to do is we're going to lay down some cheesecloth soaked in that whiskey. And just remember, just lightly rub it off and just let it sit like that. Next, we took out one of the cheesecloth rags and we're going to try to somehow figure out how we're going to wrap this thing around the ribs. So I guess we're going to kind of lay it down, spread it out, and we're just going to take it and we're going to wrap it around the ribs. And remember, kind of stretch it out, wrap it around, kind of go on an angle a little bit. Kind of want it, you know, spread out a little bit, and just rotate the ribs. Spread it out a little bit. Rotate it again. And just stretch it out. There you go. And we're just going to keep rotating it until the ribs are completely covered in the cheesecloth. Okay? Now if you have any problems with it, you know, don't worry about it, just kind of work with it. And there you go. Now this rib is wrapped up. Now what I'm going to do is continue to wrap up the rest of the ribs in the cheesecloth, and then I'm going to go ahead and use some kitchen string and probably tie these off. Stay with me. Well guys, welcome back. I'm trying to figure out how to wrap. I've seen a couple of the videos of you guys on other Facebook forums and YouTube and so on. Man, you guys make this stuff look easy, especially some of my professional butcher friends. You know, I'm still trying to figure out how to wrap this stupid thing because I ain't got a clue on how to do any of this stupid stuff. So stay with me and we're gonna see if I can figure out how to wrap up a baby back rib. Okay guys, so these things are somewhat wrapped. Laugh at me, I don't care. I've never really wrapped any of my meat before. So this is new to me and I guess I got some learning to do. But anyway, what I do is I cut the label off of each of my cryo packs. And I kind of wash the back real quick. And then I tape them onto a little 3x5 card with a little like hanging thing. And I use this and I hang this into the dry age fridge so I know exactly, you know, what the weight was, the cost per pound, I should say, the weight, my total cost, just so I can kind of get an idea of what I have. And usually on the back, I'll write the date of when I started aging, and sometimes I will write the date of when I want to pour it out. Well, these ones, I'm going to put these ones in for 14 days. I've got another set of racks that I just got done wrapping that I'm going to do the 21 days. Now, what happens with the leftover whiskey? You can drink it if you want, but I wouldn't. What I'm going to do is put it into a spray bottle, and then I'm going to go ahead and take it and mist it for 3 days. I'm going to pour it out of the cooler, spray it, you know, down with the whiskey, throw it back in again. And I'm going to do that for 3 days. Then after that, just going to let it naturally dry age for the remainder of the time, whether it be 14 days or the 21 days. Well, stay with me, and we're going to find out if this is a crazy failure or crazy success. You're watching Crazy Dave's Kitchen. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to Crazy Dave's Kitchen. So I just got done kind of cleaning up the kitchen a little bit after that little theatrical there of the pork. But I want to show you guys this really cool tip in case you didn't know. You can actually make really cool looking spray bottles. Take your alcohol bottles, take a spray bottle nozzle, put it over, and check this out. It actually screws in. And how you know? Look at that. So now I got this really cool looking alcohol based sprayer. But remember, I'm going to use this to mist the dry aged pork baby back ribs that I'm working on that I have wrapped with the whiskey. Well, there you go. That's a Crazy Dave tip. Now have some cool looking household cleaner bottles hanging around the house. Hey guys, welcome back to Crazy Dave's Kitchen. So right now we're in the middle of an interesting journey here. We're trying to do what everybody else says can't be done, it was impossible to be done. And that is to dry age some baby back ribeyes. That's right, dry aged baby back ribeyes. Well, right now I'm doing one of two levels, 14 days, and the other one I want to try to push it out to maybe 28 days. Well, today is the 14th day. Follow me as we go into the dry age locker, and we're going to pull out some baby back ribeye ribs. Okay guys, so this is the barbecue baby back rib dry age machine. Now this one here only has the baby back or the pork in it. My other one, which is the true, that has all the beef in it. And there's some ribeye there and stuff, some New York strip, some eye round, got some really cool things going on there. But right now we're focused on this one. So let's open this up. I've got some gloves on, and we're gonna pull out these two racks right here. These are both been wrapped with some cheesecloth sprayed down with some whiskey, and we're looking at 2 weeks. So let's see what happens. Okay guys, so here is the rack of baby back ribs that is still tied kind of, I'm gonna call it half-ass, or I should say uneducated on how to wrap and tie up some meat. Well, we're gonna go ahead and try to trim away on this stuff, and just kind of, we want to remove the cheesecloth, and we want to kind of see what do we got under here. So we're just gonna kind of trim away here on the string and kind of get things going. Well, I'm probably gonna cheat. I'm gonna use some scissors, so I'll be right back. So I cut off all the string here, and we still got the cheesecloth. So now we're gonna start unwrapping this mummy and see if I got anything that's worth saving. Let's see. There we go. We're slowly unwrapping it. Cheesecloth's a little dry, a little sticky to the meat here. And we're just gonna peel it away and see what we end up with. And so far it's looking good. I don't smell anything that smells bad. I wonder if I should have maybe sprayed it down with some more whiskey real quick before I peeled it off. Not sure if that's gonna do anything, because that's part of the dry aging, is that it forms a little bit of a pellicle. But you guys are all worried about, oh wow, well, you know, how's he gonna trim it off? There's nothing to trim. Well, it's pork. So pork doesn't really develop the pellicle that we see so much into the beef. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually go ahead and cook these babies using the normal, or I should say recognized method in the barbecue industry, known as the 3-2-1. So we're just gonna cook them up. But I would say, let me zoom in there, a little coffee bean. That actually looks pretty good. And to show that it's not really dry, I mean, that's still got a lot of flexibility in that. Well, I've got two racks, so I'm gonna just go ahead and unwrap the second one. But let's do a smell test here. I mean, my nose is right up to it, and it does not smell bad at all. I've got no worms clawing out of it like some of you guys would think with pork. No mold. There's nothing indicating that this piece of meat has gone bad, and this is 14 days. So stay with me, guys. We're gonna still unwrap the other one here. We got two of them to go, and again, I'm gonna do a 3, a 2, and a 1 method on that. And that, for those that don't know what that is, that's 3 hours of smoke, 2 hours wrapped, and then the final hour kind of on high, and that's when you're gonna coat it with some sauces and stuff. And I'm still working on what I'm gonna do with the sauce. Stay with me. You're watching Crazy Dave's Kitchen. Okay guys, so we decided kind of on a dry rub with a little bit of a wet kind of rub, if you want to call it that. And I'm going to post that recipe that me and Chef Maylon Jones have been working on as far as the dry rub. Well, what am I going to do now? Well, the first thing we're going to do is remember the winter jack with this little spray bottle attachment on it? We're going to spray both sides of the rib. Now this is that Jack Daniel's whiskey. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to kind of mist it here. And we're going to spray them down. And we're going to do both sides. And don't worry about spraying too much on it. We just want to, a little wet here. Get that beautiful Jack Daniel's flavor and kind of let it mingle in here again. Alright, so now that the ribs have been coated, now we're going to go to this. Now this is basically some mustard with a little bit of that Jack Daniel's winter blend. And we're just going to, smother it on there real quick. Kind of let it sit there for a little bit. We're just going to coat both sides of the baby backs with the mustard and whiskey blend. Okay, then we're just going to turn them over. And we're going to repeat the same thing. Just kind of, slather on the mustard and whiskey blend. And there we go. We're just gonna keep going. Now, we're gonna let these sit for a couple of minutes, let it soak in, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna add the dry rub mixture, and we're going to sprinkle that on here. Now, to kind of give you an idea of what's in it, we've got some brown sugar, we've got some white sugar, we got some chipotle pepper, we got some paprika, chili pepper, some sea salt, and some black pepper. Now you adjust, garlic and onion powder. But you adjust your level of heat depending on how well you like it. So Chef Maylon and I kind of went back and forth because he likes it really super spicy. I love spicy, I just can't eat the spicy level that I used to, so I gotta kind of tone it down. Plus those around me can't handle a lot of the heat, so I kind of had to adjust it. So as you're making your dry blend, grab a little bit of sample, put in your palm and put in your mouth, taste it. Because you don't want it to be overpowering with heat, you want the heat to be there, but what we're trying to achieve is flavor. Now remember, these are dry aged. So we want the dry aged flavor, we also want the rib natural flavor, and we want the smokiness all to kind of mingle together and make an amazing baby back rib. Stay with me, you're watching Crazy Dave's Kitchen. Welcome back to Crazy Dave's Kitchen. Well, in this bowl, I kind of took my dry blend here of spices and I kind of separated them because my hand had touched the pork. So I'm going to use all of this. But again, this is a combination of various spices. So we're just going to take it, sprinkle it on here, and if we want to do the famous little Salt Bae little seasonings on it. I hope I did it pretty good or better than him. Let's try it again. Salt Bae! There we go. We got the little dragon going. Oh, got to come off the forearm. There we go. Salt Bae, eat my heart out, buddy. I don't know what makes Salt Bae so famous, but other than his little antics. But let's go ahead and coat these down. And don't be afraid to throw this stuff on, man. We gotta really get this stuff going. And just throw it on there. Now remember, guys, do not rub your meat. You're going to pat it because you don't want to break up the fibers already. We just want to kind of, pat it along in there. Turn these babies over. Make sure you always coat the underside of your ribs. A lot of people will season the ribs, but they always seem to forget to coat or season the underside. And we got to get this stuff going in here. Now the purpose of the mustard on it prior, as you can see, it's helping the seasonings to kind of stick. And we're just going to keep going. and just get that stuff going in there. Now, if you're worried about some of the stuff appearing to be dry, that's fine. Because before we put it into the smoker, we're gonna hit it again real quick with the whiskey. And we're just gonna get that stuff sticking in there. Look at that. Make that stuff nice and wet. Now you don't want to spray too much where it starts to make the seasonings kind of run off. You just want it to be sticky. Now we're going to turn it back over again, one final time. Look at that, how beautiful those ribs look. Grab your little spice bowl and now see how this is all gooey. This is why you always want to separate your spices into another bowl, because you don't want to contaminate what you are trying to save or what you have left over. So again, we're just going to sprinkle this stuff on there. A little bit over here where we didn't really have much. There we go. And there you go. Okay, so now this bowl's all emptied. One final shot real quick of the Jack Daniel's whiskey. Make sure we get that stuff nice and just lightly coated. And there we go. So now, what are we gonna do, guys? We're gonna let these babies sit as we go and fire up the smoker. Now today I think I'm gonna use regular applewood pellets because I think applewood would be very, very amazing to use with the apple cider whiskey that we're using from Jack Daniel's. And we're gonna go ahead and smoke these at 150, and we're gonna do that for 3 hours. Remember, we're doing a 3, a 2, and a 1. Stay with me, you're watching Crazy Dave's Kitchen. Okay guys, so I laid down a piece of really large aluminum foil here, and I took one rack of the baby back here, and what we're going to do now is we're going to use that Jack Daniel's Winter Jack here, and we're just going to spray these babies down. And we're going to spray them down really, really super nice and make those babies nice and wet. And remember, we're going to coat both sides here. Now, because I'm filming, I'm not wearing gloves on this. I normally do. So let's just go ahead and kind of move it out of the way real quick. Lick the fingers real quick. Now, man, that tastes really good. And then we're just going to, again, spray them down really good. And then we're going to go ahead and finish wrapping this baby up. And we're going to go ahead and put it back into the barbecue or to the grill for another 2 more hours. Stay with me. You're watching Crazy Dave's Kitchen. Now that the baby back ribs have been wrapped, now myself, I like to actually double wrap it. So that's what I did. But now we're going to put them back into the smoker for 2 more hours. 3 down, 3 more to go. Okay guys, so now we're moving into the final hour of the 3-2-1. Well, what I got going on over here? I've got the rest of the bottle of that Winter Jack Daniel's. I've got some of that KC Masterpiece Original Barbecue Sauce. And I got a couple bowls. Well, what did I do? You know what's funny? In this bottle right here, I actually had 5, that's right, 5 shot glasses of whiskey left over. So I took the KC Masterpiece here, poured it into the bowl, added the 5 shots of whiskey, gave it a really good mix here, and I'm telling you, this stuff's amazing. Now, why do I have one over here and one over here? Well, because I'm going to use this one right here to coat those ribs that's going to come out of the grill real quick. But I don't want to contaminate this one because I may put this back in here, and then I have some whiskey-infused barbecue sauce. Well, stay with me as we finish this project up. Okay guys, so this rack of ribs just came out of the smoker and I unwrapped them. Now be very careful when you unwrap your ribs as the steam can actually burn you. But man, look at those juices. That looks amazing. Well, we're going to keep unwrapping the rest of them, and then we're going to go ahead and coat them with the Jack Daniel's barbecue sauce and finish it up the final hour. Well guys, here they are, unwrapped. Now we're going to take the Jack Daniel's whiskey barbecue sauce and we're just going to smother that all over and get these babies nice and coated. Keep throwing it on there. No such thing as too much sauce when it comes to the Jack Daniel's here. Just gonna smother it on there. Well, stay with me. I'm gonna keep coating these babies up, and then we're gonna throw it in the smoker again for the final hour. Hey guys, welcome back to Crazy Dave's Kitchen. So, what's the verdict? Well, I taste tested it myself. I thought it was okay. I thought it was really good. Different, but good. Gave it to the neighbors and gave it to the wife. Well, the feedback was this. The flavor, the recipe, the spices, the dry rub, and the whiskey barbecue sauce all came together and made it amazing. Okay? They were a little thrown off, saying, okay, I can taste the aginess. It's good, different, not bad, and I want it again. So that's a good positive sign, I assume. Now, the other comment that I got was that when they were eating it, the texture. They said, okay, it kind of tastes like eating some burnt ends, so it's kind of like dry and kind of chewy. So it's not your typical rib. But they said, you know what? They just kept chewing. They couldn't stop. The flavor was amazing. The funkiness of the dry age was still there, and they just kept chomping on it. The whiskey flavor that was sprayed into the meat for several days was still there. The whiskey in the barbecue sauce was there. And it was sweet, but it was spicy, and it was bam, like hot. They loved it. So I'm going to warn you guys, if you guys venture out into doing the dry aged rib for 14 days, remember, you may get some positive feedback, which is good. And over here, you may get some negative feedback, like, dude, what are you doing, man? You just ruined a rack of rib. Because they may not be used to that. But keep at it. Keep going at it. And I'm telling you, this one's going to my book. All right? I'm keeping this one. Dry aged baby back ribs, 14 days. Well, there you go. Now, on a side note, I'm still going to venture out on something. In that cooler in the garage, I've got 2 more racks left. And guess what? I'm going to try 28 days. We'll see. You're watching Crazy Dave's Kitchen. Thanks for watching.